initially, my original board, I had done a lot of research into demons, uh, fallen angels, Nephilim, or Nephilim, whichever you want to call it, and a timeline. And in my timeline, I attempted to do a timeline because it said that fallen angels was locked away and that for 70 generations. And I wanted that timeline to be 70 generations to end up in the 1900s when inventions really started pouring in. However, it did not work that way. It ended up coming up either 17 or 1800s. I believe it was 1800s that, things starting to pop. Things started to happen. So I was stumbling around the other day, goofing off, and ran across this writing up of 1833. And you can see right there some of what went on in the 1800s. It starts in then, and then it just explodes of the inventions. And I think I didn't go all the way through with these, but you can see the inventions that has went on. And just since the 1800s, and in particular about the 1830s, because it just keeps happening. And this is no way exhaustive. I mean, there's far more inventions than that. And it's strange that you go back and you're looking, what was invented before then. And as you see, this is, time frames, huge time frames. And like I say, it's not exhaustive, but you can see there's very little bit invented. There's some, and it makes some headway, but very, very little has been invented till you get up into the 1800s. And that's when things start really happening. A lot of researchers have come up with same or similar. Don't really know this lady, Liz, but on here she goes into it, and she's done her homework on it. We can look at a little of it.
According to the scriptures, around 3000 BC, fallen watcher angels were bound in chains and cast into hell. And the angels who did not stay within their own position of authority, but left their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal chains under gloomy darkness until the judgment of the great day. Jude 1:6. For God did not spare even the angels who sinned. He threw them into hell, in gloomy pits of darkness, where they are being held until the day of judgment. 2 Peter 2:4. It also tells us in the book of Enoch that the same angels found in Jude 1:6 and 2 Peter 2:4, were bound for a period of 70 generations. Bind them fallen angels fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, until the day of their judgment and of their consummation, till the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. Enoch 10:12. The book of Enoch is not part of the canon of scripture, however many people in Jesus' time read from it and memorized it. In fact, the Bible quotes from this book in Jude 14. Although this book is not canon, nor should it be treated as such, it does, however, contain parallels found in the scriptures, and it is worth taking a historical look at the evidence found in this book. Here is the example we find in Jude. Jude 14-15, Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convict all the ungodly of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Here is the quote that Jude spoke of, found in Enoch 2, XXVI 2, Behold, he comes with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon them, and destroy the wicked, and reprove all the carnal for everything which the sinful and ungodly have done and committed against him, who utter with their mouths unbecoming language against God, and speak harsh things of his glory.
So you see there, I mean, there's people that have really researched into the first readings that I ever did was like Babylon Rising, Then the First Shall Be Last by Rob Skiba. Also Arkanon Invasion, the Nephilim. I watched hours upon hours of his videos. And I mean, Rob is, nowadays he's more into flat earth, but Rob done some really, really good research. And he makes it clear that research means that it's already been searched. He's only redoing the search. And he uses the Bible and uses the Apocrypha. And oddly enough, if you're sitting in church and you're listening to the preacher, without him knowing probably, and you, he will be quoting from some of the books of the Apocalypse, or Apocrypha. So let's move on to some more. There's quite a list of people who have studied this over the years, and I see new names popping up now, or I say they're new names. To those of you who've started research within the last 5 or 10 years, they probably aren't so new. I just been in my own little world, I guess. But the ones like Doug Hamp, Tom Horn, Rob Skiba does a whole lot of really good information, or he did. Now he works on Flat Earth. But there is a lot of L.A. Marzulli, or Marzulli, however you say that, Tim Arbuquino, I can't pronounce that one. He's one of the new ones. Without a doubt, one of the better books on giants was written by Stephen Quayle. But my pick of everybody that I've ever seen over the years is this man. He has studied not only Christianity, but Judaism. And yes, there's a huge difference. That's what Jesus was crucified for, was preaching. He wanted to go back to the Hebrew roots, but the people who was already practicing Judaism, the two don't get along, and they don't get along with Christianity. But anyway, it's another story. But he studied that. He studied Islamic. He studied Hindu, Buddhas, all kinds of different folklore, different religions. He is a Christian. And really, if you're smart, you know what the opposition says. But if you're out trying to find something, then you go where the facts lead you. And I've not read through this whole book. I have to be totally honest with you. I'm telling you, it's the most informative thing I've ever read. It's 900 and something pages. You can go in here and get samples, or you can watch some of the recordings. But if you really want to learn about them, this is the dude that you learn from now. A super nice guy. But I haven't gotten to the point yet to see if he's looking at this the same way I am, that it's already begun. I don't know. It's strange. Either we are truly a miracle because we were raised by morons, who was raised by morons, who was raised by morons, who was raised by morons. And it goes back and back and back. Or something did happen in the early 1800s. So, what happened? I don't know. I just know everything started changing in the 1800s. Just as in 2012, it was, a lot of people went around misquoting, saying the end of the world. They never said it was the end of the world. They just said the end of things and the beginning of the other things. And if you'll stop to think, they were right. Yes, it has that many things. So anyway, that's that. And it's not what I intended on making, but it's close enough.